Your work as a podcaster begins when you publish an episode. I know. You put in a lot of effort in planning the episode, then you script it, then you spend hours recording it, and then, of course, getting the final cut ready. But all of that will be in vain if you don't do this one thing. You're listening to Underscore. My name is Anirudh. Success of a podcast is in direct correlation to how well you market your podcast. This is that one thing that you need to do the right way. And when your whole podcast team is just you, you got to do it yourself. It takes a lot of effort to promote a podcast. But before we get into what you can do to promote your podcast, let's talk about what you should avoid. Number one, avoid investing in a website, at least right away. Might surprise a few of you, but I feel that creating a podcast website is a very time-consuming process. Of course, you need to invest money as well, and you should invest in a website only when your listens grow and keep growing consistently over a period of time. If you think the world is going to leave Spotify or JioSaavn or Apple Podcast and log on to your website to listen to the episodes, well, you're wrong. Use the website once your show grows big and strong and use it as a platform to connect with the audience, create forums, discussions, competitions, and go above and beyond the usual offering of the podcast streaming platforms. What Apple and Spotify cannot offer, you can offer those features to your listeners on your website. It's an add-on. Don't forget that. It's not the only option for the audiences, unless, of course, you want to launch your show exclusively on your website. Good luck with that. Till your show grows big enough to afford a website, find the right keywords, focus on creating great titles and episode descriptions. Google will pakka help you get traction if the content solution that you provide is search-driven. Things to avoid. Number two, making fancy emailer about the new episode is out and sending it to the same bunch of people again and again. It's not marketing, it's called spamming people. Use emailers effectively. If people have subscribed to your emailers, bring them value. Give them something that is not on the show but exclusively available via the emailer. Moving on, number three. This is the worst, and if you practice it, please stop doing it right away. Avoid clickbaity titles that do not have anything to do with the content of an episode. If you think growing a show is possible by luring people in, you're absolutely wrong, my dear fellow. Aim for engaged followers for the show in long term and not short-term spikes in listens for an episode. If you are someone who wants to start a podcast and are already feeling lost in this big bad world of podcasting, join the gang by following this podcast. I am very, very confident Underscore will help you get a good sense of what you can do with and for your podcast. Now let's talk about things you can do to DIY market your podcast. Number one, I know I say this a lot, but it's my favorite. One-on-one conversations. Every time you come across someone new that you think is a potential audience of your show, tell them about your podcast. You'd be surprised how many listeners you can score every month by just letting people know about your show in your conversations. Taking this further ahead, write personalized emails to folks every time you release an episode. And write to only those people in your network who you think will find the new episode useful. Works well when you have a show that is work-related and aims at a niche audience, right? But don't write to the same person again and again. Once you write to a person, like don't communicate to them about your podcast for the next 3 months, maybe. Avoid reaching out to them again and again for new episodes. Do the same on social media as well. When you share an update about a new episode, let's say on LinkedIn, don't tag the whole world. Tag the people you think will definitely get some value by listening to the episode. Do this over a couple of months and you'll see that you have built a decent, loyal follower base for the podcast. Moving on, being a part of online forums and discussions is also something that can help you. Use online forums to resolve queries by others and use that conversation as an opportunity to suggest someone an episode that is in line with the topic that's being discussed on that forum. Very thin line here again of being helpful versus spamming people online. If you do it well, you can be the star of a forum. I'm not joking. Number 5, promote your show by being a guest on other shows. Collaborations, however, only work when content is great on the other show as well. And the target audience is the same for both the shows. Patience, consistency, and having realistic expectations is key to making an awesome podcast that's loved by everyone. Now, good luck marketing your show. If you have any suggestions, more than happy. Let's connect on LinkedIn. And if you liked what you heard, make sure you follow the show. Please do consider leaving a rating on Apple or Spotify. This will help the show reach out to more awesome people like you. Thank you for listening to Underscore. My name is Anirudh.